But
talk
but
about.
but the
It
little
sound
female
crazy.
he got.
That's the problem.
But that little female he got, she probably around here somewhere. I'll catch up with her.
Wait, hey.
At their latest press conference in Las Vegas, Gervonta Davis brought up Frank Martin's girlfriend, which angered the Detroit boxer in an interview after the press conference. Martin broke down his strategy to defeat Tank on June 15th.
Breaking him down, studying him. The game plan is crazy, you know. So it's a lot of them guys he get in there with is not like me, you know. They're not like me.
The heated press conference between these two makes their upcoming bout way more interesting. But what did the two say about their fight? And what are the experts' predictions? Stick around and watch as we find out in this video that the latest press conference between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin ahead of their fight on June 15th was wild. Both fighters share a rich history dating back to their amateur days, when they trained together and sparred several times. Tank is also eager to make a strong comeback to the boxing ring after a long absence. Therefore, it didn't come as a surprise when he smacked Martin during their face-off.
Once again, things heating up already for this main event in WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Fighters, take your seats.
During the press conference, he also made several provocative comments about his opponent. Davis mocked Martin's background, insinuating that Martin, whom he described as being from the suburbs, lacked toughness. The tension escalated when Davis made derogatory comments about Martin's girlfriend, stating that little female he got, she's probably around here somewhere, I'll catch up with her. These remarks were clearly intended to provoke Martin and question his personal and professional life. Martin, however, wasn't affected and stood his ground, taking verbal jabs at Tank.
We're not even talking coffee.
I've been working for it, you know. I've been an underdog since I started.
This y'all boy.
From the
The
beginning.
ones y'all roll with.
You know, so
This y'all
Throughout the press conference, Davis continued to assert his dominance, frequently interrupting Martin and making dismissive comments about Martin's capabilities and experience. At one point, when Martin was trying to answer a question about his underdog status, Davis cut him off, leading Martin to snap. "You are doing all the tweeting, let me talk," despite Martin's irritation. Davis remained relentless, further intensifying the verbal exchange. In addition to his comments about Martin and his girlfriend, Davis also spoke extensively about his expectations for the fight and his return to the ring. He expressed eagerness to prove himself after a long hiatus, which included time in jail and under house arrest. Davis emphasized his readiness to showcase his skills and deliver a spectacular performance for his fans, saying, "I've been off for a long time. I want to be flawless and do what I do best, and that gives you fans the best boxing you've seen up to date." The press conference was marked by a lack of cordiality, with both fighters refusing to back down Davis's attempts to undermine Martin's confidence by attacking his personal life and questioning his abilities, setting a combative tone for their encounter despite the provocations. Martin maintained his composure and reiterated his determination to prove himself in the ring, highlighting his readiness to shock the world and defy expectations in an interview after the press conference. Martin shared interesting insights on the mindsets of both fighters. He noted that both of their energies were genuine and not manufactured. It wasn't faked or scripted, it was all natural. Martin remarked, hinting at their deep-seated rivalry. He also talked about the sparring session from their amateur days, which was the focus during their latest face-off. Martin quickly brushed aside the sparring video debate, emphasizing that sparring is not a definitive indicator of fight outcomes. "We're fighting now, and this is where it really counts," Martin stated, underscoring his focus on the match rather than training footage. He argued that sparring is just practice where fighters can have good or bad days without it reflecting their actual skills. He reiterated that the true test would come on fight night when everything is on the line. When asked if the heated atmosphere between them stemmed from Jim's encounters, Martin suggested that the friction arose because Davis recognizes the real challenge he faces and knows he's in there with something real. Martin suggests that Davis sensed his opponent's seriousness and commitment. Martin attributed their confrontation to their alpha personalities, which naturally clash when faced with competition regarding Davis's focus on his body weakness, as seen in Martin's previous fight against Arnold Harutunian. Martin remained unfazed. He acknowledged that Davis and his team are judging him based on that performance, but assured fans that he and his team have a game plan for everything. Confident in his preparation and the strategies they've developed, Martin conveyed his readiness to take on Davis and overcome any tactical challenges. Martin remains resolute in proving himself against Davis and is keen on shifting the conversation away from sparring controversies to the fight itself for him. The June 15th matchup is an opportunity to demonstrate his worth and counter Davis's psychological maneuvers with a strong showing in the ring. Despite the latest sparring controversy between Tank and Frank Martin, both fighters remain steadfast in their preparations for the highly anticipated bout. Davis, with a perfect 29-0 record, sees this fight as another opportunity to reinforce his dominance in the boxing world and continue his legacy as an undefeated champion. With 27 knockouts under his belt, he aims to maintain his impeccable track record while leveraging his explosive style and power to overwhelm Martin. Martin, currently 180, sees the Davis fight as his opportunity to make a significant impact and establish himself among the sport's elite. Martin acknowledges Davis's reputation and the challenge that awaits, but remains undeterred. He emphasizes that Davis is in a spot where he wants to recognize the fight as a chance to elevate his career and validate his ambitions. Martin believes that a decisive victory over Davis would firmly cement his status as a top-tier player. Contender ultimately paves the way for bigger fights in the future. The verbal sparring leading up to their matchup has only intensified their rivalry. Martin's confidence remains. Despite the psychological tactics Davis attempted by selectively leaking the sparring video, both boxers are focusing on their strategies, recognizing that the fight will require precise execution and mental resilience. Davis's experience and Martin's determination set the stage for an electrifying encounter, while the pre-fight controversy has fueled excitement among fans and increased the stakes. The boxers are ultimately focused on winning the real battle in the ring. As the fight approaches, both are determined to stick to their game plans, knowing that one critical victory or defeat can shape their respective careers and legacies. The boxing world is also eager to see this fight happen, and many have been sharing their predictions. Martin conveyed a clear message of confidence and determination ahead of his fight. Martin acknowledged the history between them, referencing their past sparring session at the Mayweather gym, but emphasized that both fighters have evolved significantly since then. He remarked, "I just feel like that spark fairing was really like it wasn't even, we were just in there fighting hard. We both are two different fighters." Now, Martin highlighted his growth in understanding the sport, moving beyond mere athleticism to a more strategic and knowledgeable approach. He noted, "I'm fighting off of understanding. I know what I'm doing when I'm in there now. I got defense and everything." He admitted that previously his performance relied heavily on his natural athletic abilities without a solid grasp of defensive techniques. Now he combines his athleticism with a high boxing IQ, making him a more formidable opponent. In response to comments about the timing of the fight, Martin dismissed any notion that he was unprepared. He stated, "They want me to think this ain't too soon for me. Ain't nothing too soon for me. I'm different." This reflects his unwavering self-belief and readiness to face Davis. Martin also confidently addressed the possibility of knocking out Davis, asserting that Tank can be knocked out if he gets in there and acts up. "He's going to run into something, or I might go get him." He indicated that his approach would be adaptable, showcasing his ability to be both strategic and aggressive as needed overall. Frank Mason's message to Tank Davis was one of readiness, confidence, and a declaration that he was more than prepared for their bout, regardless of any attempts to undermine his confidence with their sparring and the latest trash talk during the last press conference. The June 15th fight between these two is going to be an exciting one, but who do you think wins this fight? Frank Martin sneaks in with a victory? Let us know in the comments. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.